Well, I thought we played pretty well. I don't think we played great. I think it was a good opening weekend. And outside of the, one bad pitching performance on Sunday, I think overall it was a good opening weekend.
And then looking ahead to the leadoff weekend here, Montana State Billings coming in. What do you know about them and what do they bring to the table?
Well, we don't know a lot about them yet, other than they had a really good year last year. They were in the regional rankings right up to the end. We are aware that they had some good signings in the offseason, some Division I transfers, different things. I know they're very well coached, and we expect a good test this weekend.
And then this week in practice, what's going to be the emphasis this week? Pretty successful weekend last weekend. What are we going to be working on this week?
Well, our base running wasn't very good, so that's one area of emphasis. Pitching was solid, but in terms of hitting, our locations and executing those pitches in the locations we wanted to, that wasn't great. Walks were a little high, but that was a big factor of one game in particular. So, those are some of the things that we hope to see improve from week 1 to 2.
Questions?
Hey, Hunter, you're one of the old guys on this team. You look around, there's a lot of sophomores in the lineup, a lot of guys playing really for the first time. Kind of what do you look at your role on this club?
My role in this club, honestly, just to compete and set an example, especially for those young guys. As you mentioned, we do have a lot of young guys in the lineup, but nobody here is not worthy of being in the lineup. So we don't really look at their age. Everybody wants to compete and find a way for us to be successful. So, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to set an example for those guys and play hard.
Coach said, I was talking to him Sunday, he said he's never been that cold in St. George. How hard is it mentally to stay in a game? It's almost midnight, it's really cold. You just want to get back to the hotel and get warm.
If you love what you do, it's not really that hard to stay locked in, especially when you love what you do with who you do it with. So at the end of the day, I don't think that was really much of a factor for us. We were kind of, focused on trying to get a game. So at the end of the day, I don't think it was that big of a deal for us.
As for Coach, what role do you expect the depth to play this season? Having multiple relievers that can maybe give you a long outing or short outing, and maybe some bench players that can come up and give the regulars a rest. What role do you expect the depth to play?
Well, I think our pitching depth is very good. In fact, it's almost problematic in terms of getting everybody innings that you want to get innings and getting them their look. So, for example, today we're scrimmaging second half of practice and getting all those kids that didn't get innings or at-bats on the weekend, get them some looks. I don't think we're as deep this year positionally as we've been in the last few years. I think that could be a strength in the end, provided we're able to stay healthy. It'll force more at-bats on guys than some guys have had in recent years. Lineups, this weekend lineups were a little easier to make than they have been in previous years, more recent years, because we don't feel like we're at a point with the development of some younger guys where they're a viable option yet. I think they might be as we approach the middle of the season, but for now, we're relying on a small group of probably 11 or 12 position players. But as I mentioned, I think we can go as deep as 15 or 16 on the mound, and that's troublesome in terms of getting guys reps.
And for Hunter, getting more at-bats from the leadoff spot, do you feel that power stroke coming more with getting more comfortability there, or is that something you're just working on in practice, or just sticking to the gap-to-gap stroke?
My goal is just to compete, kind of eliminate the amount of times that I strike out, put the ball in play, find a way to put the barrel to it. Just trying to stay gap to gap, stay up the middle, and just compete and find a way to get on and let the guys behind me, do their thing and drive me in.
So a little more, I know there's always excitement for the first time you guys get on the field, but now you get to come home, you got the leadoff dinner, a lot of parents, a lot of families coming in. Just a little bit more excitement for that first home weekend?
Some could call it excitement, some could call it distractions. At the end of the day, we're going to have to stay locked in. We've got 4 games to play, and our goal is to walk away with 4 wins. It's going to be cool to be at home and see your friends and family, but that should take a backseat to what we're really trying to do this weekend.
From the regional championship game last year, what does this group take from that into this season?
I remember sitting there at the end of the game, and Farmer was kind of standing down the line, and I was like, "It's all right, Bubba. Like, don't worry about it. You know, we're gonna be fine." And he was like, "Dude, I'm just trying to remember this moment." So, you know, that remembering that feeling of what it felt like to, you know, fall short of one of your goals. At the end of the day, we had a great year, but, you know, we feel like we left something out there. So that's kind of the driving point for all the returners.
Coach McDermott named the pitcher of the week for the RMAC 90Ks and his experience. Can you just tell me a little bit about his performance over the weekend?
Well, his command was excellent. You know, he didn't have his normal velocity yet, although it was good. But his command, the command of his fastball and slider were the difference. And it was nice to have JR back in that role and pitching. You know, I thought he'd be good, but I didn't think he'd be quite that sharp first time out, so that was nice.
If I remember correctly, is he coming off of an injury, right?
Yeah, he was sidelined last year with some elbow pain and different things, and we had to shut him down after I think the third week of the year, and he didn't pitch the rest of the year last year.
Gotcha. So starting off the year, obviously seeing, you know, some excellence right out of the gate. How much is it monitoring him throughout the year and kind of just making sure that he stays healthy the duration?
Well, we're going to bring him along really slow. I think he threw 54 pitches the other night in 5 innings. You know, we might increase him up to maybe 65 this week. We'll cap that regardless of the game situation. We're not going to push him through. As I mentioned, we have a deep staff and there's guys we need to see, but you know, we aren't going to really turn him loose for a high pitch count until well past the halfway point, most likely, until we get into the warmer temperatures and things are very stable and those type of things.
And then last, just being back at Simplicio Field, start off the season at home. Tell me what it's going to be like to be back out on the field and getting ready for this season.
Well, it's always nice to be home. I mean, every year that I coach, it seems like they go faster and faster. It doesn't seem that long ago now that we were in Texas finishing the year, and with that disappointment of the regional championship game, and then we're back at it with a fresh slate and start of things and a new team and a new journey ahead of us. So that makes it fun and exciting.